click this button, and that button makes us go live to the world. Good evening, my brother in Christ, and my literal only friend who also watches football.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Football's back, so I'm great.
Football is. I couldn't. Did you cry? I cried. Not a
little
lot.
bit,
Yeah, a little. I just got a little misty, but there was tears. Yeah, no, I was. It really does feel like it's been 10,000 years, but we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are also back with a Wideverse show talking about football. Those of you, all 5 of you who used to watch my old show in 2019, College Football Shitposting Live, will recognize this as the exact same fucking thing. Just this time I have someone to talk to about it. So it is week 0. It is week 0. A lot to talk about. This show isn't about European football. Would you care about if it was about European football either? You don't watch.
Excuse me. That's glorified jogging.
It's called soccer. Yeah, it's not football. Very excited. Preseason's been going on, of course. A lot to talk about. I think what we're going to do every week is, by the way, we said before we went live, we're not married to Saturday nights. We're thinking maybe Sunday. We don't know. We'll see how it goes. This is very much a dry run. So we'll see how it feels. But yeah, I think we're going to start off most shows with talking about just going over scores, going over the games. Not a lot of good shit today. I do have here, I have what I thought of ahead of time, and I was like, oh yeah, these are my like real hot predictions. And I'm actually going to pull it up right now. So the 2 major games today, of course, Nebraska played Northwestern in Dublin, Ireland, home of the shillelagh and the potatoes and the other offensive stereotypes about Irish people. Apologies to Irish people and any Irish people in chat. No.
Yeah, not at all.
First Big Ten game out of the United States. Wait, why were they in Ireland?
The stream is just a black screen, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's we don't have graphics right now. I just because I pulled up well, I guess I could show the doc. I'll show it. I'll show my embarrassing predictions. They were in Ireland. Why were they in Ireland? Because it's kind of becoming popular over there to a certain extent. NFL has been pushing having London games for a couple of years now. They're having a Berlin game this year. It's kind of been NFL gridiron. American gridiron football has always kind of been, it's had traction, just not a lot of traction, but it's starting to get more as the NFL and American football is becoming more of a global brand. They of course still love footy over there, which, but whatever.
Let's be real. If we can get some of those old hyperjets back, they're a 3-hour flight to the other side of the world.
The Concords.
Yeah, that's what. If we get those going, I think that's.
Yeah,
makes international games more possible. And
yeah, we'd be good to go.
It's only a matter of time.
As to why those 2 specific teams were playing, I don't know. It would have made a lot more sense. Actually, wasn't Notre Dame supposed to play in Ireland in 2020, and it got axed because of the thing that we can't say? I want to say that was a thing. I'm not going to look it up, but just trust me. Just trust me, bro. But anyway, so my predictions on that was the marquee game of the morning. I was saying because Nebraska last year went 3-7, abysmal, utterly fucking abysmal, but they looked great doing it. They lost to Ohio State by a field goal, I think. They lost to a bunch of other top 15 teams by a possession. Very close. They had a big early season win against Minnesota, which kind of put them in the position wow, they're going to do something. And then they just fucking 3-7. A lot of expectations coming into the season, and then they just utterly fucking shit the bed. If this actually won't go. There we go. I got to click on that. They kind of got their ass kicked. Yeah, 31-28, but it's Northwestern. It's Northwestern.
Yeah, and Nebraska was 12-point favorites going into this game.
Yes. something like that.
That's a very large in your favor kind of score.
We did hit the over. We did hit the over, just barely, but we hit the over, which I believe it was 52 on that. So I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, so I can't do math, but I'm pretty sure that's that we hit the over on that. Helinski looked great, actually, like shockingly, because he's been inconsistent ever since his time at South Carolina. So it was interesting to see him actually really doing good. Oh, it's because I've got it's got my they're saying you're echoing. I've got my I got the open back headphones on, so that's just I don't have my earbuds in here. I'd have to go get them. They're in a different room, so we're just gonna have to deal with that. It's fine. It's not a huge deal, but yeah, no, that was complete. Like at this point, does Scott Frost have a future? Like you lose in Dublin to Northwestern after going 3-7.
That's pretty embarrassing
in a bunch of games. Like, because now I'm thinking, what I think now, I now look back on last season and I go, was that as much like a scrappy underdogs, just barely, almost beating the big guys, or is Scott Frost just so terrible that that team should have won, right? They should have won, and the fact they didn't wasn't admirable. It was pathetic, because that's what I'm thinking now. Because I was looking at last year's Nebraska team like the underdog story, like, oh, they were so close. But now I'm thinking, I think they should have just won and they just fucking sucked. So,
many such cases.
My prediction was way off on that. I said Scott Frost squad wipes the floor with an anemic Northwestern led by questionable Ryan Helinski. So everyone laugh at Taylor for that one. Everyone get a good laugh in. I was not really wrong about that Florida State game. Holy shit. They beat the
shit out of them.
Which everyone may be thinking, Duquesne, that's an FCS team, right? Yes, but they lost to an FCS team last year. They just straight up lost. But they donkey dick Duquesne. And they looked really good doing it, actually, to be quite honest. I'm sure Mike Norvell feels real good about that. Mike Norvell, obviously, very much on the hot seat. But Florida State seems to be doing like an opposite Texas, right? Texas obviously brings in a coach, and they give them like 2 years to get them to the national championship and then fire them if they don't. They seem to be giving Mike Norvell the time that he needs because the program does seem to be trending in the right direction. So I'm hoping he gets the time he needs. I'd love to see Florida State, because I think that's what I said in my notes. Is this the year they're back in the national conversation? Probably not, but I think we're a year away from it. Another good solid recruiting class, and I could see Florida State being right back in it. So, what do you think?
Now I'm not super in depth in the college news as you are. This is going to be my year where I get into college ball. So, I mean, they're in the same division as Clemson, right? And are they still the big baddies, or how is
Clemson is number 4 in the preseason poll, I believe. Yeah, they're slated to win the ACC, and there's no one really else in the ACC. I think they can hold a candle to them. However, I'll say this. Clemson was also considered a favorite last year, with DJ Ulalongolo, whatever, being like the far away Heisman favorite. And then they ended in like the Goodyear, like not the Goodyear Bowl, like the
they were real bad last
unfinished Furniture Warehouse Bowl or something. They're just ridiculous. And DJ Ungolo, their quarterback, was just not even in any single conversation about literally anything. So, yeah, I don't know. The ACC is always a crapshoot. Clemson's really good until they're not. So I don't know. I don't see them competing with Clemson, but crazier shit has happened. Speaking of the ACC, North Carolina.
Cincinnati made it to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, they did make it to the playoffs, but they didn't make it any further thanks to the University of Alabama. Fun fact, we are now being sued by Ohio State for that. Speaking of the ACC, though, Dizzy dropping a Roll Tide. Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Re-7 for 3 months. Love you, man. Roll Tide indeed. We will see them next week. This week 0, of course, is just kind of middling teams. There were some okay games, though. I didn't actually watch like most of these because, I don't give a shit about UConn and Utah State, but whatever. I did watch North Carolina and Florida A&M, though. North Carolina, of course, in the ACC, which I was going to, and Florida A&M, historically black college and university, HBCU. Fun fact, that game almost didn't happen because Florida A&M almost wasn't able to field enough players because of academic ineligibility. Because we are on Twitch right now, I have nothing further to say about that other than I hope they sort that out. Sucks. I hate to hear it.
Yeah, they need to. Yes, they need to get some of those kids in some of those buffered classes.
Yeah, we need some tutors or something. Holy shit! But I had some notes about that. That was a really decent game. Drake May, quarterback for UNC, looked really good. The rest of the team was a little hit and miss. The defense, especially in the first half, giving up 14 points, kind of rough. They got it together after halftime. And then, as you can see, by the fourth quarter, FAMU just literally gave up. They just had nothing left in the tank.
Nothing.
Yeah, they were just done. So that's where we're at on that. It was great. It was great seeing game day again. Like, even though they weren't on location, even though they were all, part, it's like, I don't really like Kirk Herbstreit per se. Like, I think he's good. He's a good commentator, but like, as a human being, he's whatever. But it felt right. It just felt right. My alarm going off real early, hopping out of bed, going in there, firing the TV up, and I hear Kirk Herbstreit, and it just felt right. So next week,
Kirk Herbstreit picked Ohio State star to win the Natty, which that's not happening.
He's a consummate homer, though. You got to respect it. It's the same way that
he's calling Thursday Night Football with Al Michaels now as well. So
I love that. That's a good pair. I love Al Michaels, and I'm okay on that. They will be live, however, game day Thursday, September 1st, for the Backyard Brawl in Pittsburgh against West Virginia. Gonna love to see it. And then after that, I believe they're going to be in Orlando for the Atlanta for the Georgia. No, where are they going to be? Because I want to say it's this is in Atlanta, the Oregon-Georgia game. I don't think it was that. I thought they said it was going to be that's Bethune-Cookman. I don't think they'd be there for that. I don't remember where they were going to be.
Looks like Saturday the 3rd, they'll be at Notre Dame, Ohio.
That was it. Notre Dame, Ohio State. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of game day, I saw Baylor there. They had some wild predictions for their Desmond had it was Utah, Baylor, TAMU, and someone else crazy in his top 4. No,
that is insane.
It is no perennial favorites were in his top 4, which I respect that. If you're gonna go all out.
We do live in this new NIL deal era. Who knows how much money some of these schools might be spending on picks.
That's true. And Baylor has that HGTV money coursing through it, so who knows? That was great. Not a lot of games today, though. Everything is going to be next week. I'm really looking forward to there's nothing I love more than this Labor Day weekend, Thursday night game, almost the middle of the week. But it's always a banger. It's going to be the Backyard Brawl. It's going to be the big one. Hey, your boys, Tennessee, playing Ball State at Neyland. That's pretty much the only exciting ones. That Penn State, Purdue. I don't know how. I didn't really hear anyone talking about Penn State much. I don't know how they're looking this year. So, and Purdue.
Yeah, I heard the Vols suck. Is that true?
I'm glad you asked. Yes, they do suck, and they always have and always will. So
yeah, they need to figure that out now that I live here.
Yeah, I was about to say though. Maybe. I mean, I joke, but they were in the mid-aughts. They had Peyton Manning. They were pretty good. The late aughts, of course, 2009, the very infamous game between Lane Kiffin's Vols and Nick Saban's hitherto undefeated squad, and of course Mount Terrence Cody's 2 stellar field goal blocks. which may or may not have ended Lane Kiffin's career at Tennessee, which led him on a revenge tour that lasts to this day. That he still hasn't won against Nick Saban, but there's always this year. But yeah, glad to have college football back, but we have had NFL back for 3 weeks now, and to set the tone of the show, like I'm kind of the college guy. Like I love college football. I always have. Don't really give a shit about NFL. Ooh, Vikings. However, Succ here, he's the NFL guy.
Love the NFL.
So why don't you go off a little bit about preseason, and then we'll talk about a little news after that.
All right. Well, I mean, preseason. Obviously, preseason. Most of the starters don't play. Sometimes they get like half the starters in for a few reps for a drive or two. So there's only so much you can really pull from the records. Like, I mean, the Jets are above the Pats and the Bills right now in the preseason records. So, I mean,
yeah,
what is that really? That doesn't tell us they're going to go and win the thing. Which, a side note, the Baltimore Ravens have won the past 23 preseason games. It's kind of impressive.
That is actually super duper impressive. Yeah. What do you say, the Ravens?
The Ravens.
It's kind of weird.
I mean, the Bucks are 0-3 in the preseason, but
yeah, but they were playing.
Tom Brady was away.
Did it turn out he was indeed filming The Voice, or not The Voice, Masked Singer?
I don't think that was confirmed. I don't think there's an official reason yet, but it's thought that he was just on like a pre-planned vacation while he was still retired. And since he can't really back out of that since he's been away from the family for so long.
That's true.
Which he played today, and he looked like Tom Brady. So
yeah, I mean, Tom Brady, like,
how are you going to complain?
Yeah, I mean, you could just like pull him out of like cryostasis, and I think he'd be ready to go. Like, he just is who he is. He's always.
You can pick Tom Brady, who just disappeared for 2 weeks. You can pick Aaron Rodgers, who's like high on ayahuasca or whatever it's called.
Dizzy in chat saying the Western Michigan logo looks like a World of Warcraft icon. Yeah, it kind of does, actually.
It does look like the WoW W.
It does look like the WoW. It's funny because it's like, you go, oh, well, it doesn't look, it's not close enough for like them to get like in legal trouble or something. Except years ago, my alma mater, University of Southern Mississippi, got in trouble from Iowa from like ripping off their logo and had to change all of it. And it's like, it didn't even look even remotely like fucking like logos and trademarks are so stupid.
I think WoW is probably bigger than that shit school. So
yeah, I mean, it's a directional, so
yeah.
But yeah,
I'd say some highlights from the preseason were probably that Tua looked really good. Threw a 60-yard in the air pass to Tyreek Hill today. That was pretty sweet.
Nice.
Let's see what else. Justin Fields looked like a quarterback today. He didn't the previous 2 weeks. So, And who'd they play today? They played the Browns, and that's a team right now.
Who's even the Browns quarterback now? Now that they got rid of Mayfield.
I think it's the guy backing up Tua last year.
Actually, you know what? That's funny because I just pulled up the thing about Deshaun. Deshaun was their quarterback, I guess, but they're not now.
Well, no, Deshaun was on the Texans still last year.
Right, but
Jacoby Brissett is their current starter.
Oh, okay.
Which is, kind of a who.
Well, no, but I mean, Deshaun was suspended for 11 games, and he's with the Browns now.
Right. Well, so the timeline on that is he was still on the Texans for all of last season. He just sat out and refused to play because he wanted to be traded, and then he finally got traded in this offseason, and the suspension hit a few weeks ago.
Right, which is crazy. Like, it's whatever. That's one of those things where, like, I mean, we'll talk about it for a second. The Deshaun thing is one of those things, like, when you read into it, like, listen, here on College Shit Talking Live, or Football Shit Talking Live, I'm going to have a lot of trouble with Justin saying that. On Football Shit Talking Live, we believe and respect all women. Hashtag believe all women. Hashtag
we also believe in innocent until proven guilty, but at the same time, like, there's a societal view on you when there's like 80 fucking women that have come out and said, hey,
Yeah.
This guy did some shit when I was giving him a private massage.
However, that's where I was going with that. They were kind of giving him the old tug and go. I mean, that's the implication here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, did he? Maybe. Was that just kind of the atmosphere? Also, maybe. I don't know. All I know is that they finally got him for 11 games and $5 million. So he's done for this season, pretty much. He's done. He will not be playing, which really furthers the Browns' woes.
I mean, it's 17-game season. He could be there for the last 6, which
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's a good play. Like, if the Browns are doing well with Jacoby Brissett as quarterback, do you pull him for Deshaun, who admittedly looked fucking awful in the one preseason game he played in?
For the in-game reasons and the out-of-game reasons too, because if you're on a hot streak, you don't want that press coming down on you that first off you bench your on-fire starter for your controversial, I guess technically QB1, who is just coming off an 11-game suspension because he may or may not have molested a bunch of women. That's a terrible optics going into late December when you want.
And then also, like,
go on.
The Browns are fucking crazy for giving him the first ever fully guaranteed contract.
Yes. Like anyone else, sure, fine, whatever. Deshaun Watson, no, that's insane. That's almost as bad as like giving Antonio Brown a confirmed contract.
Yeah, I will say, now both the Bengals and the Ravens are probably going to have to pay Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson fully guaranteed contracts, which they might not be able to do. So maybe this was, all right, we're fucking ourselves, but we're also fucking these other teams if they can't figure out those contracts.
That's kind of based, honestly, to be quite honest.
It is.
Yeah.
I did saw what was interesting about the 11-game suspension is since he's still technically available for 6 games, he still gets his full contract payout for the year.
Well, interesting you mentioned that, because speaking of people maybe potentially raping people, this you just talked about before we went live. This is insane. This Matt Ariza story. So let me just walk everyone through this, because this is the first I'm hearing it as well. The Buffalo Bills have released punter Matt Ariza 2 days after a civil lawsuit was filed alleging he and two other current San Diego State, the Aztecs, I believe, football players gang raped a minor. Yes, you heard that correctly. General manager Brandon Bean his name is Bean.
That's the Bills GM, dude.
Said Saturday night that the decision was made to release Ariza earlier this afternoon. However, Coach Sean McDermott said that Ariza seemed to understand, and I think when we spoke again this morning that he agreed that was probably the best thing. That's never a good sign. Ariza was not at practice Saturday after being held at a Friday's preseason game against the Panthers and was on the sideline during the game. I want to get down into this. So she was 17, I think you said?
She was 17, and the age of consent in California is 18, I believe.
Right.
So, I mean,
the lawsuit alleges that Ariza, who was 21 at the time of having sex with a then 17-year-old high school senior who was under the age of consent in California outside an off-campus party held at his residence in the early morning of October 17, 2021. Later, the suit claims Ariza then brought her inside the home where at least 3 other men, including the other 2 defendants named in the suit, Xavier Leonard, a red shirt freshman with the Aztecs, and Nolan Awalico, I'm not even going to try and guess what he is, who is no longer on the team's roster, were located. She was then repeatedly raped for about an hour and a half, and the suit states that nose, belly button, and ear piercings had been pulled out during the act, and she was bleeding from her vagina. Holy shit. That's grim.
There's pictures where, like, she looks like she's clearly been choked out and stuff as well. That
is grim.
It's pretty fucked up.
Ariza's criminal attorney, Carrie Armstrong. Oh, my brother. You got a female lawyer. You going to prison, my bad. You going to prison.
Well, I mean, if he raped a kid, he does deserve to go to prison.
So, told ESPN that his client. Oh, okay, never mind. It's a guy. Well, you might be good then. Spoke with a girl at the party, but that the rape allegations were just untrue. In a statement, Armstrong said, "I am sure he is very upset and disappointed that his career with the Bills ended, not because he played poorly, but because of false allegations leveled against him by a young lady and her attorney. I hope he is back in the NFL soon." I don't.
I mean, I feel like there's some pretty clear evidence out there already.
It does, and like, is there another side to this story? Maybe. I would be very interested in hearing it, to be quite honest. But as it stands right now, of course, like we said, jokingly said, innocent until proven guilty. It ain't looking great, boss.
It sure ain't.
It ain't looking great. So that is fucking rough. So, and that's your team. You're a big Bills guy, right?
I mean, I kind of became a Bills fan the past few years because, I previously lived in New York, and while I grew up a Giants fan, they've kind of, been really bad the past few years. And the Bills being kind of close to me were good. So that made me a fan, which this definitely sucks for them because they have had struggles with punters. Now they have no punter. And Matt Araiza was coined the punt god.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that wasn't on this article, but that's funny.
And I mean, the boy could punt, but you can't punt and rape.
He apparently, I was going to say he apparently could rape too, which is, that's whatever.
Some call him the rape god as well.
They do, actually. You, in fact, I believe, just then. For legal reasons, that's a joke, and barring pending a lawsuit, we do not actually know if he is the rape god. However, we will keep you updated on that, which is a shame, really, because the Bills have been kind of like tickling with destiny there a little bit the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, they're Super Bowl favorites right now. So,
well, I guess a punter won't change it, but you got to assume that's wreaking havoc on the locker room, to be quite honest. Like, even if it is just a punter, that's got to be rough.
He is like a rookie who's not been on the team very long. So
that's true.
But they are pretty big on their culture there. So
that's true. So, but
I mean, they got fucking fans jumping through tables for the team.
I love it. I love that. I really do. I think that's because, of course, I've talked about before, like one of the reasons that I'm not huge on NFL is I feel like the spirit and the soul and the culture surrounding college is so much more vibrant than NFL. I mean, sure.
Yeah, I think some of the NFL teams have similar soul, but there's definitely a lot that don't.
Oh yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is, like, when who's like a consummate terrible team? The Browns. So like maybe that's not true because the Browns, the Lions, great, yeah. When the Lions are like, it's you're staring down New Year's, they've won 3 games. It's like 20 below. You aren't out there like cheering. Like you just don't give a shit. But Buffalo, not the Bills, University of, in the MAC conference playing on a Tuesday night in a blizzard. Fans are still out there. They're tailgating. They're having fun. Their team hasn't won a single game all year. They don't give a shit because it's their school. Because you can't graduate from an NFL team, There's no ancillary thing to have dedication to. Like Southern sucks, right? Southern's, they're okay. Southern Miss, but I still love them because that's my college. So, I have no, like, the Saints. I've been a lifelong fan of the Saints. I had no real problem, like, kind of not disconnecting from the Saints, but like distancing myself from the Saints after Drew Brees left, after Sean Payton left, and kind of because I've kind of become a little bit more of a Pats fan because of Mac Jones. No big problem.
Yeah, they look like they might have a rough year.
I don't want to hear that. I was excited to hear that Mark Ingram's back in New Orleans, though. I didn't know that until the preseason game last night.
Yeah, they got Tyrann Mathieu as well from the Chiefs.
Oh, on God?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
They back to have him as well.
That's a powerful offense.
Oh, he's a defensive player, but yeah.
Oh, I was thinking fucking Leonard Fournette. I don't know why I thought Leonard Fournette.
No, dude, he's still out on the Bucs.
They both went to LSU, so that's an easy to understand mistake. So, looking forward to here you go. Fucking speak of the devil. First NFL game of the year. Not next Thursday. 2 weeks from last Thursday. Bills Rams in California. Looks like Buffalo is actually just barely the favorite for that one. How you feeling about that game?
The Rams are the reigning Super Bowl champions, so obviously
Unfortunately.
everyone expects them to do well.
Right.
Rams are down a few players from that championship run.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Von Miller, who I think is on the Bills now. So that's kind of interesting. No OBJ, who OBJ looked fantastic before he got hurt.
Right.
So that's rough for them as well. But they do have Cooper Kupp, who was leading the league in like yards after catch and touchdowns for wide receiver, despite being a white guy. So, that's pretty big.
When the white guy's putting up numbers, he's great.
But all I've seen from the Bills in the preseason when they have their starters on, they have looked absolutely incredible. And I mean, they looked at the end of last season, they lost because they didn't get the coin flip in their favor, which, NFL overtime rules, not great, but they are the rules. They are what they are. The Chiefs lost that same situation to the Pats a few years back. So it does look like the Bills are going to live up to their expectations. I definitely think they're going to win this game.
Nice. Excellent. Man, then September 11th, never forget. Full slate.
There's going to be a lot of never forgetting that week.
Yeah, well, see, we had it last year. So September 11th was on a Saturday last year, so it was all that. But yeah, I'm going to assume we got we got a Jets. You just know that Jets game's going to be absolutely, which is fine, It's, big slate. Bucks Cowboys on Sunday night football.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good game.
I like that. Oh, in Arlington. Oh, I love that. I don't like Broncos Seahawks on Monday night, but whatever.
Well, Broncos Seahawks is kind of fun because Russell Wilson's now the quarterback for the Broncos, and they're going back to Seattle for opening week. Which at the same time, the Browns are playing the Panthers, and Panthers quarterback is now Baker Mayfield. So.
Oh, he is, isn't he?
For those not in the know, was the Browns quarterback who got run out of town so they could pick up Deshaun Watson.
That was karma coming back on him, I like to think.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Seahawks, they're the team playing in Berlin this year, right? Them and the Raiders?
I believe it's Bucks Seahawks playing, and I think it might be Munich.
I think it's Berlin. Munich NFL game.
Yeah, Munich.
Yeah, 5 games for 2020. Wait. Oh yeah. Oh wait, they're gonna have 5 games there this year.
5 games international.
Oh, right. I forgot the Saints to fuck autoplay. I swear to God. I forgot the Saints are gonna be playing in London. That's cool.
They got 3 London games.
Yeah.
1 in Munich and then 1 in Mexico.
You're right. It is the Seahawks and the Bucks, and you're right. It's also in Munich. Oh my God, 9:30 Eastern. We waking up for that one, boys. Let's get up.
Hell yeah.
To
that, I mean, talking about like international games earlier, they had like 600,000 people trying to get tickets day of.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Wait, how much does Munich Stadium hold?
It's a good question.
Alliance Arena holds 70,000. I think that's gonna be packed. That's gonna be a good game.
I do as well.
That's gonna be a good game. I'm not really confident. I'm not confident it's gonna be a really competitive game because I feel like
the Seahawks have Geno Smith as their starting quarterback. So,
yeah, no, that's you're just watching that one to see a game being played in Germany. So, because the Bucks,
football's on in the morning.
Yeah, because the Bucks. I mean, like I know you said the Bills are the Super Bowl favorite, but I feel like Bucks are 2-3 down from that.
I mean, you can't ever count out Tom Brady.
No, I mean they've still got Gronk, they've still got Leonard Fournette.
They don't have Gronk. Gronk is retired again.
No shit.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna stay with Tom Brady. Oh well, whatever. They still have Leonard Fournette, so
they have Leonard Fournette, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. They've got Julio Jones now as well.
I don't want to hear the name Mike Evans. Don't say that name in my presence. I'll say that name.
What's wrong with him?
He went to TAMU, and He was on that team that beat us in 2012. Just an absolute heartbreaker over in College Station.
Oh, okay.
Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about last year's loss to Tamu either. So,
I mean, he's a pretty good wide receiver, so
he's a very good wide receiver, and that's why I don't like him, because he didn't play
speaking
for
of
us.
very good wide receivers, Devontae Adams on the Raiders now left the Packers.
Is that right?
That is right. Played with his old college quarterback, Derek Carr.
Oh, I love Derek Carr. He's such a good guy.
Yeah, that division's going to be rough this year.
I tell you who I don't like on the Raiders is crap, Jarrett Stidham.
I mean,
I heard
that
a rumor
dude's an
he's
eternal
got,
backup. So
I heard a rumor he's got a bastard daughter that he never talks to or pays child support for. So
that's fucked up.
I don't know if that's true. That's just a rumor. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just
people tell me rumors and I like to believe them. So
right. Okay, yeah, no, that's we got a lot to look forward to. This is gonna be a big season, I think. Like, this is gonna be a big season. Like, 2020 obviously had all its problems, and 2021 I feel like kind of still had, like, everyone still was holding their breath a little.
Yeah, I mean, people were still, people were still trying to shut stuff down last year. So
that's true. But this year, like, everything just seems full bore. Football is 100% back, so I'm very excited. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna close out every show with betting advice for beefy bets. Go off, King.
All right, hold on a second.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull up my bet.
Pull up his bets. He's got the best bets, folks. Trust me, he's got the best bets. Now,
so
go ahead.
I'm gonna start off with saying my bets will primarily be NFL bets, since that's my area of expertise.
That's obviously where the money's to be made too. So
yeah, I don't super like betting on kids outside of betting on Alabama to win, because that's kind of free.
Yeah, I mean, roll with that.
So preseason, also don't like betting on that, because it's kind of hard to even know who's playing. So
you never know.
Right now, I just have a futures bet placed, and that's for the Bengals, the Colts, the Eagles, and the Packers, all to win their division as a parlay.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's pretty reasonable. The Bengals, coming off their Super Bowl run, let me check the odds on that real quick. So the Bengals just coming off their Super Bowl run, I think they can do it again. The Ravens, they're hyped up to win the division, but they've only ever won a single playoff game. I think they're good. Lamar Jackson, obviously a extremely talented quarterback.
Extremely.
They've still kind of barely made that leap into where they need to make it. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Colts, I mean, I live in Tennessee. I got to support the Titans, but Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis aren't it. And if Derrick Henry gets hurt again, it's kind of all over for that team, basically, is their entire offense.
Yeah.
Packers are a pretty obvious pick for that division. I mean, Lions, Bears, Vikings. No, thank you.
Mm-mm.
And Eagles, I think that one's a bit of a toss-up with the Cowboys, but I've always thought the Cowboys are overrated, but, growing up New York Giants fan, the Giants look abysmal, and the Commanders are... I mean, what even the fuck are the Commanders?
Sounds like an XFL team.
It really does.
It really does, yeah. Is that it?
Yeah. I mean, there'll be more bets going into the actual, actual proper regular season. There's not much to bet on right now, when it's still 2 weeks out.
That is true. Yeah, only a bunch of college today, and it was a little slow. Like I said, it was not a lot of interesting games. I'm looking over here on my TV. It looks like Vanderbilt, because there's currently still a game going on over in Hawaii. Vanderbilt in Hawaii. I literally just opened the window back up, and Vanderbilt's doing like a victory lap. So, it's currently 41-10 Vanderbilt. So, whoever let me look that up, because I want to say Hawaii was the favorite in that game. Don't quote me on that, or actually go ahead and quote me on that, because I'm almost certain they were. And because I saw that, I went like, come on, like, how are you gonna do Vanderbilt dirty like that? Like, yeah, they're not the best, but You know, they still at CC.
No, Vanderbilt was -9 in that game, so they were favorites.
Oh, okay. Well, they're still up by 31 points, so
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, yeah, going forward, I think Sunday night's going to be a good one for this because, as I said, like this Hawaii game, right? This is going to be. Is it even halftime, man? I'm not. Yeah, it is 8:47 in the third quarter. Yeah, but still. Oh, that was a pick six. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Hawaii fucking sucks. Like games could go on until 2 a.m. I mean, the notorious 2018 LSU TAMU game went into 7 overtimes, ended at like 2:30 in the morning. Sunday Night Football, however, kind of ends at the exact same time every week, more or less, by maybe like 30 minutes or something. I think that's the more, and we could probably do it a little bit earlier too, possibly. But I mean, you and me, we're night owls, so it's not like it really matters anyway. So
I do have to confess, I do play World of Warcraft, and Sunday's my raid night, so the midnight time potentially works better for me.
Okay. I mean, yeah, all right. Well, that's, I mean, you know, we
finish raids like 11:30 to midnight my time, which is when we start the show. So as long as we start then, it'll be fine. But
yeah, I mean, and I mean, we could even, we'll see. We're going to take a little while to figure this one out. I wasn't like, because we canceled a lot of our other stuff, like you know, the beef stream has gone into like a different format for a while. It is good, like Sunday nights, I think my internet seems to be on par, like on general, more agreeable, so that might be good too. Yeah, Sunday night might be good. It gives us plenty of time to think about the Saturday games. I think it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. This is going to be fun. I made it through the first season in 2019 literally by myself, just talking to literally nobody. So, I mean, if I could do that, I'm pretty sure we can make this work. So,
yeah, I mean, if you give me a list of games, I should keep my eye on Saturday.
Yeah,
to get me into college.
Sure. We'll start with that next week. It was just so hard this week because I mean, like,
right. I mean, there's the good schools aren't really playing.
I mean, I'm looking at people who, like, everyone who's still playing right now. First off, they're all blowouts. But secondly, like, I don't give a shit about North Texas and UTEP. I'm not even 100% word. Oh, they're still in CUSA. I forgot.
We got the Nevada Wolfpack playing the New Mexico State Aggies right now.
Yeah. Oh man, you know, New Mexico State can have a big year this year.
Have you seen what their quarterback looks like?
Who? New Mexico State?
Yeah, they got Gavin Frakes, very ginger man.
Oh, I gotta pull this up on stream. Hold on. Look at this absolute lad. Can I zoom in on this? I can. Oh my! What does that hair do?
Right?
He's 6'4" though. On God, that's a big boy. I wouldn't mess with him. Like I'm sitting here in South Mississippi making fun of him. If I was in wherever the fuck New Mexico State was, I wouldn't say a word. Because that dude looks like he would hurt you. So, but from here in the safety of my office, 1,000 miles away.
Damn, they got a guy named Bryce Bears on their team as well.
With 2 S's?
That's a bit weird.
That's weird. I'd tell you though, looking at his stats, he's not bad though. I mean, he's only thrown the ball once, but wait,
yeah,
how
2 for 2 for 77 yards?
What are they? What? How have you only thrown the ball once? Are you running it? And they're in the third quarter.
Mine shows he has 2 passes.
Oh, I went back and now he's at 2 for 2. So, okay, so maybe he threw one more. So, what the fuck?
That is pretty bad.
That's strange.
I mean, 2 for 2 for 77 yards and a touchdown is.
Well, because like look up
not
here,
bad,
G. Hardson for UTEP. He's currently at 1842, which by the way, that's abysmal. But you know, he's thrown 42 passes. So whatever. But yeah, no. We're gonna have some fun this year. It's gonna be great. I really enjoyed doing this in 2017. By 2017, I of course mean 2019. So it's gonna be fun. You having fun?
I am having fun. I like talking football. So.
I like talking football. It's so nice because, like, you know, it's been around here for like years. Like nobody, hey, sports ball, sports ball. Fuck yourself. All right. Well, that was fun. We will see y'all next. We'll just try next week. We'll try it on. Actually, no. Let's do it on Saturday next week since there's no NFL. But the week NFL starts, we'll start it on Sunday. How's that sound?
That sounds good.
All right. We will see y'all back here next week. Same time, same place. Although next week, I'm going to say I wasn't able to set it up this week because of a bunch of different issues. But starting next week, we'll probably do some sort of like live commentary during the day because there will be actually games to talk about and commentate. So probably next Saturday, be looking forward to that. Alabama's playing in the afternoon. I'll definitely be talking about that, even though it is Utah State. And of course, hey, Utah State beat UConn. So, hey. Who you know?
Oregon, Georgia. Pretty midday.
Oregon, Georgia. Well, that's on a Sunday night, isn't it? Or no, that's on Saturday. What's the Sunday night game? Let me scroll down real quick. Wow, that's a lot of games. Here we go. The Sunday. I tell you what, I'm not gonna lie. Florida State at LSU might actually be an interesting game. I'm not gonna lie. That might actually be an interesting game. After what we saw out of Florida State today, I know it was Duquesne. However,
definitely be something to watch.
LSU is only a favorite by a field goal.
Wow.
Who knows? Who knows? And then I don't actually. There's no betting info for the Clemson Georgia Tech game, but I think we all know how that's going to end. So, all right. See y'all next. Oh, by the way, next week we'll have like a proper layout, right? Because we're just using the Beefy Boys one right now. So. We'll also figure out how to put this like as a podcast form. I haven't figured that out quite yet without having to pay for it, and I'm cheap, so we'll figure something out. Anyway, see y'all next week. Yeah, hey man. But anyway, see y'all next week. Have fun.